Welcome to Go Guess Podcast. We haven't decided we're doing it. I am Colby.
And I identify as a turtle living in a crab's body.
What?
What?
Can I call you Fee?
Oh, yeah, you can call me Fee.
That's fucked up.
All of y'all can call me Fee.
Damn, okay, all right.
Not just Colby, everyone. All of y'all, call me Fee. Forget what I said in the first half.
Yeah, where the fuck did that come from?
I was thinking, I had something lined up. I didn't write it down. And then as you started, I was like, oh no, I forgot everything I was going to say.
You were like,
So now I'm a turtle that lives inside a crab. Or I don't even know what I said.
Fair.
How's that fucking hit you?
Pretty bad actually. Not good. Not a fan.
I'm glad. I live to make you cringe.
Listen.
Yeah.
Today is a big day, Fee.
Oh, baby.
The wars are over. Everybody can go back home.
Pull them out of Palestine.
We've been at it for yeah. No, I'm talking about the more important war, the console war.
Shit.
Everybody can go home. Where tell your like all the ones that we lost in this battle. Pour one out. Dreamcast.
The console. They're writing like a fucking letter. Dear wife, the PS5 has been releasing only PS5 exclusives. It's been hard on the Xbox front, but I'm gonna come home soon. Dearly beloved, fucking.
Yeah.
Turn to the Kingdom Hearts, dearly beloved. Fucking.
Yeah. Okay, so this whole thing comes about because the man himself, voice of a generation, I'll say, is a very specific generation. Yoshi P.
Oh hell yeah!
I
loved him in Mario.
He's the guy behind Final Fantasy 14. He's like the producer of it. He's very popular. He's also the dude behind Final Fantasy 16, which critically has been probably the best modern like mainline Final Fantasy game in many years.
I still haven't played it,
and so I haven't either, but I will.
I'll get to it.
Here's the thing. He blessed us with his benevolent insight that, by the way, not at all controversial. He said, yeah, I think this gen is going to be the last console war. It kind of makes sense.
He is absolutely right. I agree with him.
Yeah. And I was like, well, yeah, obviously. I think that's like the writing is on the wall. Obviously, this is the last one. And then a bunch of people online were like, you don't know what you're fucking talking about.
It's just not viable to have console exclusives anymore.
It's
just not.
Yeah,
not when they're trying to release like quadruple A games.
Yeah,
I have my hands up for that one.
We could all hear the hands fly up. It's not like it's. There's so many problems, right? Like, okay, if we get deep into like why the console wars are happening, there's so many issues with like this continuing on. And also, I'd like to clarify to start off with, I don't think what he meant was that like there's only gonna be one console and that's it. I don't think he meant that.
He just meant that like they're gonna like put when a big AAA game comes out, it's gonna be on every console. He's not just gonna make one Uber console that fucking plays everything.
Yeah, it's from him. It's Yoshi P's good game machine.
It's Yoshi PlayStation.
That's right. Thank you. Yep.
Yoshi Playbox.
Oh, that's a good one.
Thank you.
The thing is though, like I also would lump into this. What he probably also means is not that like, oh yeah, there's only going to be one gaming console. I imagine what he actually means is there's not going to be a choice between a PlayStation and an Xbox anymore. I think Xbox is just going to go away, and you're just going to have PC, Nintendo, and Sony, and those are going to be the options that you have. Because like,
should be.
I agree. Xbox has gotten to the point. I read this recently that like the Xbox Series X, or like the current generation, whatever the fuck they decided to call it, is doing as well against the PlayStation 5 as the Xbox, or as the Nintendo Wii U was doing against the Xbox One. Like, that's how trash their performance is right now. Like, they are underselling real bad. And so I think we're only probably 1 or 2 years away from like Sony being like, hey, listen, we're going to come out with a PlayStation 6. It's going to be $800 and you're going to pay it. We're going to jerk off in your mom's hair otherwise. And people are going to be like, man, I don't want to do that. Xbox, what are you going to do? And then they're going to trot out sad, bone shambling Phil Spector to be like, we've decided that we're going to put our focus on making great games and not consoles anymore. Bye. And then before like he gets out into the parking lot, somebody in a warthog drives over him and kills him. I think that's what's going to happen.
Damn.
I just don't think that like Microsoft really shit the bed last generation, and they have continued to shit the bed with this generation in a really profound way. And so I just, if you told me, if you were a time traveler from 10 years from now and you came back and I was like, hey, what's going on with video games? Oh yeah, well yeah. I mean, they didn't make another Xbox. They'd be like, yeah, okay. That would be the least surprising thing they could say.
We're on a PlayStation 6 and Switch 2 still.
Yeah, like sure, makes sense.
They're in their last fucking few years. If it's just 10 years, consoles are like being stretched far now.
Mm-hmm.
So, if I came back, I'd be like, PS5's just barely got phased out a year ago. PS6 is rolled. No, I'm sorry. PS6 got rolled out. PS5 is like on its dead legs anymore. Mm-hmm. We got the Switch 2 and Xbox. Yeah, what is Xbox? There ain't none.
Yeah, what is Xbox? That wouldn't surprise me, which is why whenever Yoshi P said this, I was like, he's probably talking about the fact that like when you're a consumer and you're buying a game console, and you're really thinking about it like as far back as possible, your three options are PC, Nintendo, or Xbox and PlayStation. Those two are the only two that are competing, because Nintendo isn't competing against anyone. They have so many first-party titles, they don't have to compete with shit. Like they could if they came out with a new console and they were like, yeah, the only thing we're going to be doing, we're going to release 30 games on this console, and they're all going to be Mario, Zelda, Star Fox, Metroid, Animal Crossing, again, all the hit Kirby. We're going to do, that's all we're going to do. We're going to do no third-party games. I'd be like, I'm still going to buy one. And they don't have to compete with anyone else, because they've got the game library that people want to be able to play. So it's like and PC is kind of in its own category too, in that you're like, well, you know, if I'm like buying a new computer to, you know, like do homework or do work with at home, it can also play games. To me, that's in a different category than home console. And so now the choice is, do I want a PlayStation 5 or do I want an Xbox Series, whatever the fuck? And why would I need an Xbox? Yeah, why would you get an Xbox? Great question.
There's just none, right? Because if you got a PC like I do, you can get Game Pass. You'd never miss like an exclusive that's stuck on the Xbox. I got a PS5. I got a PS5 for Sony games because they're just so good. What does Xbox have, honestly, that PS5 doesn't? Nothing. They're nothing. They keep putting out shit. There's nothing. Like, I used to be stoked when I got the original Xbox because I wanted Fable and Gears of War. You know what the Xbox has now? What? Not Fable or Gears of War.
Not Fable. Damn
it. Just not. And Xbox isn't even just good at any one thing. It's not good at RPG. Not even good at RPGs.
Mm-hmm.
Not like it's not good at shooters. I mean, because every console has like the same shooter.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not good at single player games. It's not good at fighting games. It's not good at nothing.
Yeah.
It's just the everyman console. It's a console you buy when you want a PS5 but can't afford one.
Yeah, I'm looking. I pulled up a list of Xbox exclusives, and
I can't even think of one.
these are the best Xbox One, Xbox Series X exclusives. Because like the thing
Gears
is,
of War 5.
we're gonna get there. They also have Game Pass, and if you don't have a PC, Game Pass is pretty attractive, but you still got to pay for it. So here you go, Hi-Fi Rush. Great title. Awesome title to look at. They shut down the studio that made it because they're fucking incompetent. Nice.
Hell yeah.
Cool.
I played it. It was fun. It's not worth buying a Xbox over.
No, I don't think so either. And there's also Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Oh boy.
Halo, the Master Chief Collection. Yeah, let's re-release Halo. That's a fucking console seller. Great.
Hell yeah.
Love that.
Used to be.
Forza Motorsport. That's something. Forza, they've got.
Dude, but if people are gonna get Forza, they're gonna get on their PC, and they have like a whole fucking setup with a wheel and shit.
Yeah, true. Yeah, Forza's Forza's for hardcore gamers.
Yeah, they ain't getting their Xbox for that. They're gonna be playing fucking Forza on their controller.
Yeah.
I wouldn't pay for it.
Let's see. Halo Infinite, Gears 5,
Boo.
Forza again.
Boo.
Grounded, which is something.
It's a survival game where you're fucking Honey, I Shrunk the Kids in the backyard.
Yeah. Starfield. That didn't work out so well.
Dude, you want to know something funny about Starfield? It was so bad and like so poorly like optimized that not even modders wanted to do anything with it.
That's really fucking funny.
Yeah, fucking.
People are like, game. Oh yeah, you mean like a new like Skyrim in space? I'd love to get in there and just add some titties. And oh no, this sucks actually. Never mind. I'm good.
Oh no, I'll stick with Skyrim.
Psychonauts 2, strong.
It's okay. It's a good game. I played it.
Yeah.
On Game Pass.
Yeah, on Game Pass. That's the other thing is like, oh, and then Sea of Thieves, which also is really good.
I've never played it. Never been enticed to play it.
So here's like, obviously Xbox has just made a number of bad decisions. Like Game Pass is an interesting experiment because the question is like, hey, if we gave developers, like if the real thing that's selling these consoles is console exclusives or like access to games, then what if we just paid developer, like what if we paid a game developer, we said, hey, we're going to give you like, I don't know, $400,000 for like an indie that's going to come out on Xbox to be exclusive on Xbox Game Pass for 2 months. And then, it'll do a full console release on other systems. What do you think about that? And it's like, okay, well, that's like enticing for, higher like AAA games or whatever. You pay them, a couple $1 million, whatever it is, to license the game for a while and have it be exclusive and have it be on Game Pass. But like, ultimately it's like, the other thing is,
then who would buy it?
Yeah, who's buying it? It's like, great, you have people maybe playing it, but who's fucking buying it though?
And you can't monetize people for like, is Xbox monetizing every download they get for the game and they kick it back to the indie? I
imagine they have to, right? Like
they'd have to. They can't just license it, give them a lot of money, and be like, well, it's ours now for 2 months.
Well, what I'm betting is that it's like, hey, we're going to, and again, I have no idea. I've not done any of this. I imagine it's like, we're going to license your indie game for like $1 million for like 3 months. And in that time, every download that you get, we're going to pay you like 1/10 what you would normally get from like a purchase for a Game Pass. up until up until we have, I don't know, however many, like 200,000 downloads on it, and then after that we'll start paying you more or whatever.
I don't know. That still sounds like you're not turning a profit.
This is the thing, is I think what Game Pass is designed to do is to give a mechanism for Microsoft to dump in a lot of money and hope that the games and the library that it's offering is big enough that people are like, well, I'm not going to buy a $2,000 computer, but I'll buy a $500 Xbox and Game Pass, and then that'll be. We've got hundreds of games on Game Pass. Fuck it, it'll be great,
dude. But okay, so here's the kicker: PlayStation does the same thing now with PS Plus. They have like hundreds of games, like a library of like over 100 games. If you got PS Plus, that you can just go into and get, and some of them are like old Sony exclusives. So you already got like stuff that Xbox doesn't have and like more appealing. And then every month you get like 3 newer games, and then the discounts. And then if you got PS Plus, you could also download like a free movie every month from the fucking Sony App Store. And I think last month was like Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I feel like PlayStation is more user-friendly, and it's just a better deal, because like Xbox, I had Xbox Game Pass, and I had it for my PC, and it was fine, but I almost never touched it. I have PS Plus for my PlayStation, and having to like turn my PC off and turn my PS5 off entices me to use it more than having Game Pass just on my PC, because then I would see it there and I would like look through it and I was just like, I don't want to play any of these games.
Yeah.
And then I would just turn it off. But PlayStation, PS Plus just, I don't know, makes me want to play the games more. Like I've already beaten like several games. Like right now I'm playing through Judgment, which is on the PS5 and it's free on PS Plus, and they don't go away. Like they're not timed.
Yeah.
Some of them are, but like not a lot. Which is to say, like Xbox Game Pass had the same thing, but like I don't know what it is about Game Pass that I liked playing the games, but man, I don't know, it just didn't feel as good, right?
Yeah, and like to be fair, I think Xbox is like trying to do a good job of like, I guess, lifting up indie games, because I think Tunic was on Game Pass too, right?
Yeah, that's where I played it,
which is great, and that also makes me kind of pissed off, because I'm like, man, God, I hope that Tunic is counting like Game Pass downloads, and man, Tunic was such a good game.
Hey, they gave away Tunic for free on PS Plus.
I paid $200 to play Tunic again the first time.
Did you?
I would.
I thought you said you did. I was like,
oh
what?
No, that's not who I am.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, you're
Don't
right.
you sit there and lie.
Yeah, you're right. You got me. I just like, whenever somebody that's in the games industry is like, writing's on the fucking walls, I don't know that we're actually going to be competing with each other that much. The other thing is what you brought up, Fee, is that so many companies have gotten too big for their fucking britches, and they end up spending like millions and millions and millions of dollars in development and years of time. And they produce some like subpar bullshit and throw it out there, and are like, why didn't we make our money back? And that just seems to be what's happening every year.
Yeah. Like Xbox especially, they're buying up fucking companies like that one company that just buys up IPs and sells them people for like more.
Yeah.
They're buying up IPs, having them make it a subpar game, and then just fucking tanking it.
Yeah.
That's what Xbox does.
Yeah. It's it's an interesting strategy. How
it works out for him, Cotton.
Yeah. The thing is, like, if you're gonna do that, because I'm thinking about like why, especially if you're buying it with the intention that you're like, yeah, we're gonna keep him around, don't worry about it, and then within a year you're like, we got to get him out of here. Actually, either you fucked up something in your plans like real bad, or that was the intention from the start. And if that's the intent from the start, it's got to be either that you're like shutting down game companies on purpose so that there's less people making games, and now you by default have more games on your platform because there's fewer games to pick from, I guess. Or you're like, we really liked how you made this game. We're going to shut down your studio, absorb all the good ones, and make you make Halo, but different. What do you think about that, huh?
Exactly. Yeah. No, that's awful. Like, here's another example for PlayStation Plus. So, Judgment was free on PS Plus.
Mm-hmm.
I'm playing it right now, and it's such. I've never played any of the Yakuzas. They were all free on Xbox Game Pass.
Yeah.
Which I could have played. It would have been fine. But like, I had no incentive to play it. But like, I got shown Judgment, and I was like, well, I want to play this.
Yeah.
I'm playing through half of it, and I'm almost done. I'm like halfway,
mm-hmm.
and I'm like, man, I want to play more. I want to play Yakuza.
Yeah.
Well, now I have incentive to. I bought Yakuza Zero Kiwami for $5.
Oh wow, nice.
Just because like that game, I don't know why I got served Judgment. It just appealed to me,
mm-hmm.
and now I went and bought the game. Like Xbox, I just saw them there, and I was like, I could just play them whenever. They're just always there.
Man, yeah,
So,
it's crazy. It's crazy because like Yakuza is one of those huge series that I was never interested in Yakuza. I was like, oh, there's another Yakuza game, like whatever the fuck that is. And I just didn't pay attention to it because I was like, I don't know, it just doesn't look like a game that I would be interested in. And then I watched Moon play Yakuza Like a Dragon, and then I was like, actually, this looks like my shit, actually. I want to play this now. So it's not surprising that you'd be like, oh, there's a free Yakuza game. Yeah, okay, I'll try it. Uh-oh, now I gotta buy all of them.
Exactly, dude. Like, okay, so I don't want to sidebar us, but like, like this is how it is in every Yakuza. You got your overlapping story, but you have side quests that you can do between story.
Mm-hmm.
And they just built a city for you to just run around and do whatever the fucking.
Yeah.
They actually just built the little part of fucking Japan, into the game, like several blocks of just stores and mini games you could do. They put actual arcades in there that you have to pay with in-game money to like play like a regular arcade. I was playing like Virtua Fighter 2 for like a whole hour, and I beat on the arcade Virtua Fighter 6. Just a full game.
Yep.
Just 3 times with 3 different characters, just for fucking because it was there. It was fun.
Yeah. That was the thing that I was actually most surprised by is like Moon walked into like an arcade and was like, oh, that's cool that like there's arcade games here. Oh yeah, of course they're all like, Sega games or whatever. And then he pulled up one of the games, was like, no way, is this the whole thing? And people in chat were like, yeah, dude, this is what Yakuza does. They just like put 7 games inside of their game because fuck it. And I was like, wow, okay.
Yeah, and it's not even just that. Like, you can go to like any of the fucking claw machines and just try to win the prizes inside, and then you put them around your apartment, and it's an actual just claw machine. I was like, what the fuck? I won all the prizes just because I had to, right?
Yeah, why not?
You had to. And then there's this place where you can go where you could just get gachapon, and you gotta try to complete like 2 sets in 2 different like gachapon places.
Yeah, why not?
And
dude?
I did. I got all of them.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you just go to a fucking batting cage, and just swing, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's fun. This game is like so fun to just run around in, and just like see what people are doing, and then just fucking get into random fights with thugs and just hit people with shit.
Yeah, dude. And there's like wild, random, ridiculous characters that you run into where you're like, this is a person who's like, hey, listen, don't tell no one, but like, I like to put bananas in my shoes and then walk around in them because I like the squishy feeling. Anyway, my regular place ran out of bananas, so I need you to get me bananas. And you're like, cool, yeah, I'll get bananas for the banana pervert now. And like, that's a totally legitimate thing that can happen in Yakuza.
Dude, yeah, like I showed pictures in Discord about it, but I was trying to catch the I forget what it's called, like the pervert trio or whatever.
Yeah.
And the first guy was like the panty snatcher, and his name was like Professor Panty or something, and he would use a drone to steal people's underwear that were hanging on the laundry line. And then
Hell
you
yeah.
just kick it. You find him, and then you kick his ass.
Hell yeah.
And he's in a lab coat. And then the second guy is ass Ketchum.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And he's like a 6 foot tall ex track star who would run around to people, grope their ass, and say, "You'd do good if you played this sport."
Oh my
and
God.
then he'd run away. And then the last guy, which I thought was, what's it called? Shit. He was the judge something, and he basically clung to the wall like a cockroach of hotels, and he would catch people having sex. He's like, "Wait a minute, you can't do that!" And then he'd open their windows and says, "You're guilty." And the guy who gave me the mission, just like, yeah. He caught my sister like having sex, and that's not cool. You need to stop him. So you get a drone and you fire rockets at him until he fucking falls off the building.
Hell yeah.
And he comes to find out that the guy who gave you the mission was like, actually, he caught me cheating on this girl, and my girlfriend's in like America for a week.
Man.
And God, man. I love those games. It's so fun.
Yeah, it's great.
And I feel like for a long time Yakuza was like never promoted, and then people just found it.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. It seems like one of those sleeper series, and like, to me it sounds like Dragon Quest. Dragon Quest also is one of those things that, like, I wasn't really aware of how many games had been made in Dragon Quest until Dragon Quest like 9. That's whenever people were like flipping shit about, oh shit, if you played Dragon Quest 8, I think it was. If you played Dragon Quest 8, it's fucking incredible.
The one on the PS2? Fuck yeah, it is.
Yeah.
That one's my favorite game, like one of my favorite games, but I think 10 or 11, the Shadows of Elusive Age or whatever, the one that came out on the Switch.
Oh yeah.
I think I put like 150 hours into that, just fucking not only just grinding, but just finding stuff to craft. And like fighting enemies and doing side quests. Such a fun game.
Nice.
And I think that brings us back to the thing. There's not just like fun games, right? There's not just games that make you feel good anymore coming out.
Honestly, kind of true.
I can't point to any game coming out that makes me go, wow, that like, I want to play that. It looks like fun. I bet it is. Like, there's just no AAAs that are coming out that makes me like fucking step back and go, wow, that looks fun.
Wow, damn.
Wow, damn.
That's some new shit.
Fucking gonna have a fungasm.
And that's the other thing is, like, a lot of the time too, what you'll notice now, because like it used to be the case back with like PlayStation 3, a little bit into PlayStation 4, is around like last gen is whenever this crime started happening. Really promising indie titles would get like close to releasing. Like, you would see them at a conference and be like, oh, that's cool. You'd see like a demo or something and be like, oh man, that looks like a great game. And then you wouldn't hear anything for a few months, and then it would be like, as part of our state of PlayStation, yeah, we're now going to exclusively release this like indie title on our platform. I'm like, man, put it out on everything, dude. Come on.
What do you care? You have everything.
Yeah. So the place where this like really, God, I'm gonna get called out on this again. The place where this really pissed me off was with Tunic. Tunic was exclusive to was like not on Switch for a long time, and the developers were like, oh yeah, it's just hard to make Tunic run on the Switch, and I was like, I kind of believe you, but I also kind of don't, because it was on Xbox Game Pass. I saw that it was like coming out for other platforms and stuff, and I was like, oh shit, I have a Steam Deck. I'll just play it on Steam Deck. Fuck it. And then that was great. Like, that was the best experience that I could have had playing it, I think, was like playing it mobile, relaxing, like never putting the game down. It was awesome. I had a great time. However,
how do you not put it on the Switch? You have like Legend of Zelda the Game Boy, the remake that looks just like it.
Yeah, how? That was my question. I was like, how the fuck are you going to release a Zelda knockoff not on Nintendo consoles, dude? That's where you put it. And they finally released it on Switch, and I was like, oh, thank God, but also I've already played it at this point.
Like, you're not going to play it again?
Yeah, to be fair, yeah, I might.
Yeah, I know you will. Because since you already played it again, you're going to get it on the Switch, and you're going to play it again on the Switch, but it's not going to take you that long because you already know everything.
Yeah, I'll be getting all the secrets.
You've been playing Final Fantasy VI for years.
True.
And you haven't tired of it.
Yeah, Final Fantasy VI never gonna get tired for me.
Never gonna give you up.
They're never gonna give me up. I want a remake. Like a big remake. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah,
I'll just go.
You go with the people over there that just keep wanting to remake. I'm gonna go with the fucking Chads who want to remake a Final Fantasy 9.
Yeah, 9. I'd be fine. I'd be fine with. I'd play a 9 remake.
9's good.
Honestly, the only modern Final Fantasy, I'll say that the only PlayStation Final Fantasy that they could do like a full remake of that I'd be really pissed off about is 8. Like, I don't want to play 8 again.
Well, that's why I would skip 8. No one wants to see 8. Unless if it plays like Kingdom Hearts, okay.
If they did a remake of 10, I wouldn't be into that. If they did anything above 10 or below 6, I wouldn't give a fuck. But in that range, yeah, any of them but 8. And by any, I mean, there's 3. I guess I'm just saying, just 6, 7, and 9. You can remake those. That's what I'm going to give you permission to do.
They're already doing 7, so you just want 2.
Yeah. I just, you know.
6 and 9.
Yeah, just 6 and 9. Come on.
I don't think 10 needs a remake. Honestly, like, what are you going to remake? All you have to do is remaster it. Put out an HD remaster with new models.
Yeah, I'm telling you, one of the things that's bad though is like, people. I'm glad that Final Fantasy VII solved this. People don't want to do turn-based anymore. Really, the one big objection to that is Honkai. Honkai Star Rail is turn-based, but it's also gacha, and I don't know that I really want to count it inside of the same league.
I keep seeing people playing fucking Honkai Star Rail, and it looks fun, but then I'm just like, I don't need another gacha fucking game on my phone because I already have one, and I'm already 3 years deep on it.
Yeah, I was watching a video from CDog VA in which one of the people was like, I was supposed to go visit my dad for his birthday, but I actually spent all my money on Cookie Run Kingdom pulls and didn't have enough money to go. And I was like, oh, you shitter, dude.
That's the game I play.
Yeah.
But to be fair, I don't need to spend money. I have every cookie in the game.
Hell yeah.
I didn't even have to spend money to get them. Because I've been playing since so early, I just get them. And because I rank so high in the PvP, they give me like 50,000 diamonds every month.
Mm-hmm.
And I just fucking do like 20 pulls if I need a new cookie.
Yeah, why not?
And I got the battle pass. It's like $5 a month.
The fucking battle pass.
It's $5 a month. It's $5 a month. I'm not going to be shamed for spending $5 a month.
No, man. You do whatever you want, man. You're good.
I really like this game. I don't know what it is about it. I'm just deep in the lore now, and I can't stop. And I play it every day for like 2 hours.
Good. I
wake up and I play it once I get to work. That's the first thing I set up is my fucking game.
Man, that's you know what? You're living the dream. You're like you care about something. You're passionate about it. You're fucking in there. Good for you.
I have my own guild. God, it's my guild too. I started it and now I got like 20 people in it.
Nice. It's pretty good.
So yeah, no, I don't know. I love Cookie Run Kingdom. I'm not gonna speak so highly of them right now since they're not sponsoring us, but they should.
Yeah.
Because I play I'm not gonna be one of those people like, you gotta go fucking play Raid Shadow Legends and find my fucking guild. No, you gotta fucking play Cookie Run Kingdom and find my guild, and I fucking you'll be like maxed out high because I have so many fucking boosts on it because I've been on it so long.
Hell yeah.
So
Like,
there you go.
just a high performer, this man.
It's like one of the only games I like playing on my phone, and I downloaded it because I saw a fucking ad on Tumblr.
Damn. Okay.
And
That's pretty obscure. You're probably the one conversion they got from Tumblr. Good.
I was scrolling. Okay, so I'm scrolling Tumblr, and I kept seeing this like ad of like these cookies. It was in the PVE, the story mode of this, just them fighting. I don't know, like the enemies, and I was like, oh my god, I'm so tired of seeing this. And then I watched the full thing one time. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna download this game, and I'm gonna see how stupid it is. Well, that was the worst idea.
Uh-oh.
Oh no, it's not. It's not dumb. Oh god.
I like, and that's I think that's another good point of like as far as console wars goes is like in like PS3, whatever PS3 was the thing, like you didn't really have mobile games that you like invested in a lot. So like things like Genshin, Honkai, like the mobile games that you played were like fucking like Jetpack, you know.
Jetpack Joyride.
Yeah, Jetpack Joyride and, you know, whatever. So like I feel like now things are wide enough that the pools are dry, and like Microsoft this generation, Phil Spector already said he said we fucked up so bad last generation because now like PS4 outsold us a lot, and now a lot of people have their digital libraries with Sony and they don't have it with Xbox. So if we come out with a new console, of course they're not going to buy it because that's not where their games are. And
no shit.
This generation, Xbox has been floundering, trying anything to make themselves relevant again. They've done like they've got console exclusives. They've bought a bunch of game places. They came out with Game Pass and started making that like a really big thing. They have put a bunch of public pressure on Sony to be like, hey, we're cross-platform. We could do cross-platform with anyone. It's Sony that's the big shitters, and Sony's like, I don't fucking care. And everybody's like, man, Sony, you should. I am gonna buy a PS5 though, so you know.
Dude, that's exactly what I did.
Yeah.
And I love my PS5. It's just that, like, man, it's weird to say that playing on Xbox or anything just feels worse than PlayStation. And it's not like this is a sponsored thing or like, it just feels weird.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to, like, it feels heavy.
Yeah.
Like playing on the Xbox feels heavy, while playing on the the PlayStation just feels, I don't want to say right. Just
it's just so right.
It just does. Like there's no other word. It feels right. And on the Xbox it kind of feels not like a knockoff, but like not like sluggish.
I mean, I gotta say,
I know it's not.
Part of that, PlayStation 5 controller really fucking knocked it out of the park. Like they took whenever they made the DualShock 3 for like they ruined it with the 6-axis, and then they came back with the DualShock. PS4 made it a little bit longer, a little chunkier, and I was like, I like this. This is like old and new at the same time. PlayStation 5 controller blows everything out of the water, and it's fucking great. I love it.
Oh, dude. Yeah, PS5 controller so good. I got an Xbox Pro controller too, and it's like really heavy, and I liked it for a while, and I was like, oh, it doesn't get better than this. I got a PS5. I haven't touched my Xbox controller since.
Hell yeah.
The PS5 controller feels so much better than the Xbox controller, and playing games on the PS5 when games can do it, has a little microphone in the PlayStation, the controller, and then you'll hear stuff like fucking old Wii days when you'd be playing fucking No More Heroes and the phone would ring.
Yeah.
On your Wiimote.
Yeah. Oh man.
Because they do that on Judgment. When you get a phone call, like you FaceTime your guy,
yeah,
the voice will come out of the controller.
Yeah, man, I really like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I have no shortage of complaints with it, and one of them is Chadley's AI girlfriend. Her voice comes through my controller at the like at the sound of a train like a mile away. It's so fucking, it's loud and grating, and I can my wife was like, is there a way you could turn that down? No, you can't. There's no option to turn it down in the menu settings. So I was like, all right, fuck it. No more controller voice. It's terrible.
I don't know. I liked it. I think it's quirky. The way it comes in loud, it makes you feel like you're there. Well, I know that's pretty cheesy, but
no, I'm right there with you. I would have really liked it if it would have just been quieter. If I could have turned it down to a reasonable volume, I would have been down.
See, but that's because like you have a kid and they're probably asleep when you're playing this.
Yeah.
So you're like, oh fuck, it's like loud, and you're like, God damn it, I hope that didn't wake them up.
Well, yeah, and it's like the end of the day, and it's like quiet in my house, and then I like my TV's at a reasonable volume, and then it's like, Cloud, I see the birds up ahead. They're made of fire, Cloud. Fucking shit! Stop it!
You gotta go stop it. Fucking. I don't know. I liked it. I liked it so much. My mom had walked in. I was like, Mom, check this out. And she was like, what? And then like the voice came out of the controller. She was like, whoa. She was like, that's cool.
Man.
So, but she's very easily amused by the things I do.
I just like, we're talking about the console wars, and I was just looking. Whenever this comment first came up, so many people in like comments on Reddit were like, I don't know what he's talking about. Like, Xbox is investing in the community, and there's nothing that's going to take over Nintendo unless you think that like Nintendo and Sony are going to merge together. It's like, God, you are you faking being this stupid, or like, is this genuinely you?
It's all them. Just like holding back tears and typing. They're just like, whoa, what do you think's gonna happen? Just fucking.
Yeah, they got their Xbox tattoos, and they're like, well, the bell hadn't rung yet.
I didn't hear no bell. Just so stupid. Like I said, Xbox is like, man. Even the name, it feels like the generic brand. Like if you were to go to gaming, you're like, I'm gonna go play my Xbox. That's like so generic with gaming that, yeah, you're gonna be gaming on it, but it's not gonna feel good. That's how I feel about Xbox. And like I said, I was like I was an Xbox guy for like a long time, but then like it just started not. They just started not having anything on it, and I was like, why do I even playing on this when I could be on the PlayStation 5 and having like a better time? They're coming out with games that I want over there.
Yeah.
Like I could play Call of Duty on anything.
Yeah, Call of Duty is one of those where you're like, I mean, I could play this. To be fair, because I did purchase Call of Duty Black Ops on my PlayStation, and it just didn't feel right. I was like, I don't know, like I want to play this with an Xbox controller, and like that's where all of like the community is. It takes you a while to like get into a lobby on the PlayStation, like at least on PS3. However, PS4 started to like even things out, and now PlayStation 5 is like back up on top. So I don't know. Xbox doesn't even have the online player base to lean on anymore. It's just, I really think that either we're going to get one more generation of Xbox in which they are going to go even more insane and do some shit like, yeah, listen, not only are we going to give you like a free game every month for free, not even on subscription, we're going to give you just a free game and you can play it whenever you want to. The console itself is also going to be $100, and but we got to make our money back somehow. So if you play Xbox 80 hours a month, it's free. But if you can't do that, it's gonna cost you $25. if somebody uses your recommendation code to turn on Xbox Live, then you get a free month of Xbox Live. Otherwise, it's gonna be $70.
Whisper it. It's gonna be $70. What? Nothing. Just fucking. There's just no incentive, right? I can't even. What even would be the next Xbox console? Because we've been on Xbox One for like 15 years, it seems.
Mm-hmm.
What's the next step? There just isn't.
Yeah. What comes next?
Them just being thrown in the towel, just fucking bowing out gracefully, and just selling their stuff to like Sony or fucking Switch, or even just going full PC. Just
yeah.
We're dropping out of the console wars, but we're gonna be like exclusive on like PCs now.
Man, that's what I would do.
Yeah, why not? Almost everyone nowadays has a PC. Why wouldn't you just be like, okay, people have stronger hardware. People have stronger hardware. We're gonna have to compete with Steam, but we have incentives to like play games for free, and it's just exclusively on the PC.
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't compete with an actual console because you're not gonna win. You have nothing. You have nothing there.
Yeah.
Just PC. Go to PC. That's way better.
Yeah, and like
PC's got to do this too. Mm-hmm. Steam and fucking Epic Games need to fucking cool their shit on license fucking contracts.
Yeah. They should like what Microsoft should do is invest really heavily in making PC, like starting the PC gaming journey like affordable and easy and like worthwhile, instead of being like, hey, listen, we've got Xbox and PC is like, you know, you can play Game Pass games on PC, and yeah, I mean, there's some stuff that you can do with a PC. Instead of doing that, be like, listen, these are Microsoft recommended gaming systems. There's like subsidized hardware. Like, yeah, you want a new console? Well, how about this? How about a gaming PC for $800 that we guarantee is going to like run, you know, first party or like, you know, exclusive titles or first party games that Microsoft is going to be, you know, putting out just to PC for the next 8 years or whatever. So it's effectively buying a console that like a really expensive console, but it's a PC as well. And so you could do whatever you want to it. Like, you know,
hell yeah,
it's something.
A low end PC with great gaming specs. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So like like the high end PC I have is like $2,000. If they really wanted to keep doing this and be like, well, we're just gonna go full to PC, they own Microsoft. That's already PC stuff. Why not just have like sell gaming PCs and spec into being like, we're gonna sell our Microsoft fucking X PC.
Yeah.
Xbox gaming PC, and it comes with all like our high end tech in it, and it comes with like 3 months free of Game Pass, and you could play like Xbox exclusive games on it, and you'll get like first dibs like a 3-day before anyone gets it if you buy from Xbox PC game, right?
Yeah,
that's what they should do. Like, drop out of the console war because it's no longer profitable for them.
Yeah.
And just stick to putting out games and don't keep it like exclusive.
Yeah.
Actually, just instead of like making consoles and stuff, just produce games and put them on other consoles.
Yeah. I honestly think that's like where we're heading to. And people, when you hear people say that, to me, I've already written Xbox off. I legitimately, in my heart, if next year they're like, yeah, we're going to come up with a new Xbox, I'll be like, really? Okay, I guess.
Yeah, like, why?
Yeah, why? But yeah, sure, okay. But people are really convinced that like either what this means is like, nah, like all games are going to be on all platforms, and by all platforms I mean PC and one game console, I think that's what people think, and I think it's just so much smaller scale than that, and people are just silly.
I think just Xbox needs to drop out. Let PlayStation and Switch just take up the console market. And if you want to do like exclusive titles on the PlayStation, because Nintendo will never put their games on anything.
Mm-hmm.
If PlayStation wants to do that, don't have like a fucking year embargo on their games. Be like 2 months or like even a month.
Yeah.
Because then you won't have problems like, well, why didn't Final Fantasy VII Rebirth? They didn't meet our expectations. Well, motherfucker, it's all on one console, one expensive console that like no one could find easily.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, it's not gonna sell as much as you want.
Yeah.
Like, if you had a 1 month like exclusive on PlayStation, that would have been great. You would have got a lot of sales, and then you're like, all right, now it's coming to PC. Like next month, you would have gotten so much more sales.
Yeah, I mean, and I can count at least 2 people that I know that are like, no, I'm not going to play any of the remakes until all of them come out. And I'm like, okay, number one, you're fucking stupid for that, but okay, fine, whatever. And so like you have that little bit of the market, but also, to a bunch of people being like, I don't have a PlayStation 5. Okay, well, what do you have? Well, I mean, I can play it on PC when it comes out on PC. Cool. When's it going to come out on PC? Probably 2 years.
Yeah.
Probably a year, 18 months, 2 years, something like that. Don't worry about it. We're not really focused on it. What?
I'll just forget it came out, and I'll just cry myself to sleep. It hurts, but I got to do what I got to do. I tell you what, that's why I bought my PS5 for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't find it anywhere that I could just afford to buy it right out. So of course every week I pay a little bit on it because I have I don't know what it's called, like the pay to own things.
Like on lease?
Yeah.
Or rent to own. I don't know, whatever the fuck.
It's I guess rent to own
on a payment plan. Yeah, payment plan.
Yeah, payment plan. But I tell you what, it's worth it. I love my PS5. I love it so much. I don't even care. They take like $20 out of my bank account every week, and that's not even a lot.
And in return, you get to go and look at Sid Highwind whenever you want to.
You get to look at Barrett.
Yeah,
Barrett Wallace, his bare chest.
Mm-hmm. His bare chest. Listen, Fee, we've got other things to talk about, and one of them that I would like to talk to you about. One of my favorite YouTubers is Jenny Nicholson.
All right.
She comes out with a new video, a new like non-Patreon video, like at this point, like 3 times a year.
Jesus. Okay.
And she is somebody who's like really into theme parks and really into just like weird internet content.
Tell me about her.
And she's great. She's done she used to be like a writer in like the My Little Pony community, and she's been like an internet person for a while. She just came out with a new 4-hour video on the Star Wars Hotel.
Wow.
Yeah. Which I love long content, so I'm in.
Yeah, that's fair. I'd watch it.
Yeah. And I am. I'm currently 2 hours in. I just want to tell you some highlights from like what I've seen so far. And like this is maybe the most disappointing thing that I've heard in so long, because describing it sounds fucking kick ass. But then there's so many things that just ruin it.
Can I just say, it's so funny to be talking about the Star Wars Hotel right now. Because if you think back, and if anyone's like new listening, we talked about the Star Wars Hotel, I think 2 years ago when it was first coming out.
Yeah.
In one of our earlier episodes, one of our real early episodes, we talked about the Star Wars Hotel. And it's so funny to hear like how bad it went.
Yeah.
And in retrospective, talk about it.
Yeah.
So
There's so much stuff that went wrong with it. And
it's so bad.
yeah, I mean, it starts off with like the marketing. The marketing wasn't great.
The pricing.
Here's what they did, and they fucked up so bad with this. They told everybody how much it was going to cost, and then they told them about all the cool shit that was going to be there. And that's not how you do it. You get people hyped and excited, and then you're like whenever the PlayStation 3 dropped, I was still excited to buy a PlayStation 3, even though it was $600, because they were like, look at all this cool shit you're going to get. And I was like, oh, that's sick. And they were like, yeah, it's going to be $600. I was like, damn, that's expensive, but I am going to pay it though. Okay, nice.
God, going back to fucking console wars, that's why I bought an Xbox. Because it was $600.
Yeah.
I settled for an Xbox 360.
Yeah.
But back then they had games.
Yeah, at the time, Xbox One or Xbox 360 was like a console of the people. It was like, yeah, I'm going to pay a reasonable price for a console. We've got online that's like way better. There's way more people that play it. And our controllers are good. And we've got some good exclusives. But the main thing was like, oh, yeah, you don't have to spend your entire paycheck on the console itself and then have no games. Because the other thing was that like there were no really good exclusive games on the PlayStation 3. There were a few, I'll say. Like, I really liked my PlayStation 3.
There was Ridge Racer!
And yeah, Heavenly Sword, I liked.
Ew.
I liked it. But
no, nobody liked it.
So you had a very similar problem with the Star Wars Hotel. And the other thing is that, like, they sort of cheaped out on things. They made it the most elaborate, expensive thing possible. Except, I think what they did is they got carte blanche. They like at the start of this project, they were like, spend whatever money you have to make this good. And they were like, fucking no problem. We're gonna spend money out our ass.
It, sir. You got it, mouse.
Then they get halfway into the project and they're like, yeah, okay, cool. So give us an update. Yeah, we're about halfway done. We're putting together, like, the plans are almost done. This is what it's going to look like. And, this is what things are going to do. They're like, okay, so how much can we expect whenever the hotel is full? How much can we expect in revenue every day? I'm like, yeah, well, it looks like, at the base price, yeah, it's probably good. We're probably can expect somewhere around like $800,000 a day. And they're like, sorry, and how much money are you spending on this hotel? And they're like, well, so far we've spent like $300 million. And they're like, oh, yeah, can we you got to add some more fucking rooms to that, idiot. You got to add some add-ons, buddy.
The corporate guy's like, fucking grabs his chest.
Yeah.
Just fucking.
I'm gonna get fired.
Puts his hand on the table like, oh no.
Why did you Mickey's gonna die.
Mickey's gonna come down from his fucking throne and strangle me.
He's gonna kill me with his tail like he killed my dad.
Oh shit, he's gonna fucking strangle me and throw me to the hyenas.
So, first thing, apparently, like, whenever to get to the hotel, you take like a cab, right, to get to the hotel.
Magic cab?
No, unfortunately, your experience starts not even when you get to the hotel. So you get to the hotel, and it is like a concrete building just in the middle of a parking lot, and it looks like shit on the outside. And the whole thing is they're trying to build this thing as like, this is a space cruise ship. And yeah, the port at a cruise ship sucks ass and is lame and bad. Totally get it. Got it. Fine. However, you didn't have to do that here. And also, because it's so expensive, I'm going to tell you how expensive it is here in a second. You have people showing up right whenever the arrival window is, which is like, It's 1 a.m. to 4 p.m. and everybody shows up at 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. and everybody shows up at 1, obviously, because you're like, this is so expensive. I want to get in and do the thing.
Yeah.
But in order to get into the hotel, they did this like really cool thing where they were like, yeah, we're going to put you in a pod and we're going to shoot you up to the spaceship, which is orbiting the planet. And you're like, that's fucking sick. AKA, we're going to put you in an elevator with some screens in it. Cool. I love that. I'm down. I love that idea. Let's do it. Apparently, they didn't have enough elevators.
They have only 2?
And the elevators were small.
Oh, no.
And so what ends up happening is you get there with a bunch of people, and at 1 p.m., you stand outside in the Florida heat for over half an hour to be able to get in and just check in.
Oh.
Which is real bad.
No, that's bad.
Because Jenny got no add-ons. First, they're like, the people that, like, you have to call in to get reservations.
It's like an airport. Fucking veterans in first class first.
Yeah. It's our Diamond Elite members. Come on in.
No. Isn't it like $4,000 for like the minimum?
The base ticket was $4,500. Yes. Jenny, for her and her sister, paid $6,000. Over $6,000.
The fucking Luke Skywalker better come out and grab my hand.
Yeah.
And fly me to the Millennium Falcon.
That's for 2 days. That's saying 2 nights.
Oh no.
And she put together the time, right? Because it's like you get there in the afternoon, you spend all day there, like the rest of the day there, the next full day, and then up until checkout, right?
Yeah, I'd never sleep. I wouldn't be getting my value if I slept.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I feel about flying first class. Is like I can't sleep.
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Dude, yeah.
So yeah, like she did the math and was like very generous with like, okay, based off of the itinerary that we had, I'm going to include like walking to do stuff. I'm going to include meals. I'm going to include like every optional thing and like all of the in-between stuff. It came out to paying $2 per minute. Every minute that you were there.
Okay.
$2 a minute. And so now when you take that into account, the fact that you're standing outside in the Florida heat for almost half an hour to get in to check into your lobby, that's $100 you paid to stand outside. That's cool.
Fuck that.
Fucking nice.
It's just, man, the hotel, like, it looks fun from the pictures, but I've seen some of it. The rooms are kind of cramped.
Mm-hmm.
The beds are kind of like not managed, just ain't it for a luxury hotel.
Yeah, they're cramped and small, and like you can tell that what I believe happened is they were like, okay, yeah, you gotta put more hotel rooms in this son of a bitch, or we're not gonna make any money.
Yeah, and oh man, the food for like how fun it is ain't worth it. It looks like shit.
The food looked okay, and I will say that it's all you can eat, and not many people seem to know that.
Oh,
like
my ass would.
Yeah, for sure. Like the sit down at a dinner thing is just like a cruise ship where if you're like, oh, I liked this dinner, another one, please, and they'll just bring you another one. But it seemed like not a lot of people knew that.
Well, yeah, it's probably not being advertised. They're like, well, look, if we don't tell them, they won't want to eat. We're saving money there.
Yeah, we're saving. We're cutting costs, baby.
Okay, so wait, before like you go on, here's the worst. I don't know if they changed it, but the worst thing I ever heard about this fucking hotel is if you're in the hotel, like say you're doing like the whole experience, you can't leave the hotel.
Correct.
To go like experience the park, which what the fuck?
Yeah, it's billed as an entirely separate experience. And you were right. You can't there is one part on the second day where you can go to Star Wars World and then come back, right? that's what you can do is you can go to the Star Wars area, and I think you can leave to like go to other parts of the park, but they give you enough time to experience like and go through some of the rides inside of like the Star Wars area and then come back.
Yeah.
And that's it. So if you at any point, if you were like, oh yeah, I'm going to go to Magic Kingdom. No, the fuck you ain't. You're not leaving the hotel, baby.
Can't do it. Here's an addendum I wanna give you. And this has nothing to do with what we're talking about. I just want to mention it.
Mm-hmm.
My mom just got home from work,
Mm-hmm.
and she came into my room and she handed me, because I have the lights off, a keychain, and I was like, "This a rock?" She turned on the light. Apparently, it's just a dick keychain.
My God.
She's like, "I found it at work," and she gave it to me. Just a fucking flaccid penis keychain.
She said, "You like these?"
I'm glad she thought about me, and she's like, "Here, have it." And she gave it to me.
Man,
yeah,
that's great.
I love my mom.
I love your mom too.
Looking at it now, I'm gonna put this away. Hold on. So yeah, the hotel. Leave the hotel.
Man,
That's shit.
Yeah,
and there's not, dude. Okay, so from everything I've seen, you could either, man, and this isn't even worth it. The activities, which is you could work for the dark side, the bad guys, or you could work for the rebels, and none of those activities look $4,000 worth, right? None of them.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have to do the story, because some of the actors are the cast members.
Mm-hmm.
They give you like notes that you have to fucking unjumble or decode.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, you gotta meet me here at like certain time, and then you'll be there with the group.
Yes.
And you'll meet them at a certain time, and then you have to follow the story.
Yeah.
But you only get one side of the story, so if you want to do the other side, then you have to pay another fucking $45,000.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And you basically, you pick a path, and and here's the thing, is you don't explicitly pick a path either. There's been, like, a lot of people online have talked about it. This is the way that the game is supposed to work. According, like, based off of everything that everyone knows.
Fucking Red Rover.
Yeah, it's like you're supposed to talk with characters, and you have an app, right? There's an app for everything. There's an app for this hotel where you can communicate with like the character actors and be like, oh yeah, I'm like helping this guy, or I'm talking with this person, and like you should be near people, and the characters get like tidbits about if you've like been interacting with them on the app. It'll be like, oh, this person, this is this person's name, or like, this is someone who's got like a high trust level with you, and they're like on your story track, so you should be nice to them. Like, it's stuff like that. Like, they're supposed to be fed things like that so that you can be, communicating with the AI version of them, and then you see them in the real world and they're like, oh, all right, thank you. Like, did you check out that cargo for me? Nice, cool, thank you. And you're like, oh shit, like I'm in it. Like, this motherfucker knows that I'm in it. Okay.
Yeah, you gotta slide to the fucking cast member DMs and fucking chat with them while you're just there having experience. It's just, man, that puts like a lot of extra fucking oomph on the cast members, right?
Yeah.
Because not everyone's staying there for like 2 days. Some are like there for 5 days. So I get, dude, they have to have like some kind of checker. Like the person that comes up is like, hey, they have to have like tells, right? Like the person has to come up to him and be like, I found the cargo you told me about, and then the cast member has to like click in the character and be like, yes, the ones I was just telling you about, I need you to go check out this now, and then fucking check back to me.
Yeah,
so
it's like, apparently, so you have a wristband for the whole thing, and the theory is that the cast members in their costumes are wearing something that like reads your wristband. Like, you don't have to like explicitly tap it on anything, but they're wearing something that like can pick up on the wristband or can pick up on the app, to be like, okay, this is this person, this is like who you're talking to, this is what they've been doing. That way they get enough context so that As soon as somebody walks up, it's like, here's all the information you need to like interact with this person and make it real, which is cool. That's a cool idea.
Boy, I hope they got paid a lot of money. That's a lot of fucking
Yeah.
that's a lot of like effort on their part.
Well, and the thing is, they made it to where you can only stay 2 days. There's no such thing as staying more than 2 days in this hotel, and there's no such thing as staying less than 2 days either.
Okay, so I guess that's a little bit less on the cast members, but still to have to stay here. They had to rotate it. I bet they had a lot of cast members because cast members can't just stay there constantly. I bet they could, but but fucking Disney's not gonna pay for that.
Yeah, I imagine like it's like 2 days on for like that, or I guess 3 days on because you're there from opening all the next day and then closing the third day, and I imagine they have 2 people to do that, and there's only specific times in which they're out, and so
not to mention makeup.
Yeah, getting on makeup because they do have like aliens there too.
Yeah,
only a few.
The ones with the big fucking tentacle heads.
Yeah, there's one of those. Yeah, apparently
there's a Chewbacca somewhere.
There is Chewbacca himself is on the ship, and so like there's a bunch of cool like small hidden detail stuff that like you could pick up on, and like they're like you ate dinner and they'll like slip you a secret note and you're like, oh shit, like this is part of my storyline, and like the interesting thing is like you can pick up on a bunch of this stuff. So if you like, they have terminals and stuff, and if you go in, they have like, oh, this is like a secret access point or whatever. And like interacting with it sometimes can put you on the smuggler path. So then you get a notification in the app that's like, hey, you know, I'm somebody that's like on the ship and I'm a smuggler. It looks like you were trying to access the secret files. Listen, I'm trying to get a job done. Can you come meet me down here in the atrium like at this time? And that's whenever like, you know, you're like, that's whenever you join up with your group, you meet these people and you go on and do like a story thing.
Come meet me behind the cargo bay by yourself.
And by yourself, just you.
Just you. Fucking clothing optional.
Yeah, clothing optional.
That's part of the adult path, and then they're just like, all right, space ranger.
Yeah.
Fucking, come on this adventure.
So like that's the idea, is like it's basically a murder mystery dinner theater thing, and
that's an expensive ass murder mystery dinner idea.
Yeah, and you're supposed to like, if you interact with like the characters, then they like, you know, some feedback loop happens where it's like, oh, I talked with the captain a lot. The captain is part of the resistance. Now you're on the resistance path. Or I talked with this person a lot. They're on, like, I talked with the first order guy. Great. I'm on the first order path now.
It almost feels like an AR RP, right?
That's exactly what it is. It's LARPing.
Yeah, but like, man, for anyone who just wants the experience, it is not going to be worth it to them, because like sometimes not everyone's going to be like these people that are outgoing and want to go talk to people and are interacting on their phones and stuff.
Yeah.
Some people are just shy and they're just going to be there and be like, well, what do I do?
Yeah. Yeah. And like, you want to go to like Jedi training or whatever the fuck. And like so Jenny decided up front, she was like, I'm going to do the first order. I want to do the first order path because not because she likes the first order, but because she's like, they're the villains, and I wonder how they're going to make it to where like you feel like you're not on the losing side if you're picking the first order. And she tried to get on the first order path all day. She couldn't figure out how to like get into any one path or anything. She talked to a lot of characters and she like tried to do stuff, but like she couldn't get any of the other paths to activate. And she was like, I don't know what's going on here. I'm like trying to look for clues. Like one of the things was like the restricted access, like there's a passcode that you have to put in. And she was like, oh, maybe if I like look around, there's like a Post-it note with the passcode on it. Or, you know, there's like, and by the way, it's written in the Star Wars alphabet, which she knows how to read. And so she's like, oh, it's like, it's SALC. These are the characters that are in it. So maybe it spells something. And like, she's like looking for things, but apparently if you just interact with it a couple of times, there's a random chance that like, then the smuggler guy will just send you a text. That's how it does. Which sucks to start off with, but okay, sure. then she's like, so she's trying her best to get on the first order pass. She's interacting with the first order guy a lot. She's also interacting with the captain a lot because she could see the captain. Then she goes to dinner and she's in one of the seats that is like, there's a stage where there's like two alien performers that perform. These sons of bitches made tables that block the full stage with poles.
The fuck?
There's support poles that block your view of the stage.
Oh no.
Like, you built this whole thing, dude. You couldn't have thought about that?
Nope.
No. You can't do it.
Can't do it. You should have upgraded your package.
Yeah, you should have sat at the captain's table, idiot. That's an extra $33 per meal.
Oh no.
Yeah. There's a bunch of add-ons like that where it's like, oh, you could like also get this like, you could get a shopping experience. You could also, this will sit you at the captain's table. Ooh, you'll like take pictures and whatever.
You could also spend more money. Whoa.
Yeah, look at all these ways you could spend money.
Can you go in costume?
Good
or
question.
Is that, like, not allowed?
You're not supposed to go in costume. Like they have things where they're like, you can't dress like this or like that or like this.
But that really takes me out of the experience. Like, I can't just be a regular ass dude interacting with smugglers.
Yeah, well, they like
futuristic smugglers.
They have Fee, let me allow follow me into the Star Wars Hotel gift shop where you can purchase pre-approved clothing to wear on your journey.
No.
Yes.
What if they don't fit me? I'm a big guy.
You're fucked. You wear your Venom t-shirt and that's it, I guess.
Wear my trademark PlayStation shirt.
Yeah. Yeah, wear the shirt we're wearing right now on screen, baby. Like, it's one of, and so Jenny spends all this time trying to get into this first order track, and she finds out in the app that like next to like the conversation stuff, there's a tab that shows your relationships with all of the people like that you can interact with on the ship. And she was like, I've talked to the first order guy a lot, like as much as I could, and I'm only like medium level with him. I've talked to the captain a ton, and I have a low familiarity with her, but this random crewmate that I said 3 words to and passed by in a hallway once, that's who I have the highest affinity with? What the fuck is happening? And she was like so bummed because she was like, I can't get any of this to work. And she said that later on she looked it up and there were stories of people that like the whole first day they were trying to like get in and do stuff at the hotel, like be in a storyline, and it just wasn't letting them. And like they just went up to the front counter and were like, what the fuck? Like, I'm here with my kids and I'm like crying now because like we want to do stuff. It's so expensive. We've been here for 6 hours. We can't fucking do anything. And they're like, I'm so sorry. Hold on. And they're like, have a back channel way to be like, what path do you want to be on? I'll put you on that right now. And Jenny was like, well, I wish I would have known that because I would have just asked, but damn.
As the don't go up to the counter, I'm crying. I want to do this.
Come on, man.
I took out a second mortgage for this.
They're gonna take my house.
I just want to do Star Wars.
Just let me be a Star Wars man. Come on.
Come on. I want to be evil. Just how evil you gotta be. Jeez. Going around tripping the cast members. First order strikes again.
God.
Look. Fucking look, I pantsed the smugglers. Another win for the first order.
And they're like, you can't interact like that. Excuse me, don't do that.
Can't I? The first order does what they want. Oh, now the cops are taking it away. Looks like a lose for the first order, but I'll be back.
But yeah, so like she's trying to get in with the good graces of like the first order, and so she's talking to this guy on day 1. Day 2 is whenever shit starts popping off, right? And she gets she like is randomly placed on the resistance story pass. So they're like, yeah, you've got to go and break Chewbacca out of the brig. And so you've got to go and kill yourself. So They're like, you've got to go and get Chewbacca out of the brig. And so she goes, like, she's on her way there, and then Chewbacca's just out. She's like, oh, I guess I'm late?
Guess
Or
I did it.
I'm too early, and they run this thing twice, and I showed up at the end of that one? I don't know.
He just puts himself back into jail.
So she's like, well, fuck, I guess, okay, I'll just go. You know what? I'll go down to the engineering room, sure. And she sees the First Order guy down there, and she's like, hey, First Order guy, I just saw Chewbacca. Like, he's out. He broke out of the cells. And the First Order guy is like, you're not going to trick me like that. No, our cells are impenetrable. There's no way. You're not going to trick me. And she's like, I'm on your side. Fucking, let me play this fucking game, dude.
Dude, like, man, like, what are you supposed to do? Like, if you want to be evil, you just go up to the First Order and like, hey, I'm pretty evil myself. What do I need to do to get in on the fucking bag, on the winning team?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, how do you force yourself onto one of these, you know?
Like, listen, I have a very high penchant for killing, and I want to be on y'all guys' sides. I look so good in black and white.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what do you, like, man, if they could fix this, if in the app, or even when you're, like, you're buying the tickets for the 2-day thing at the registration, just be like, I want to be on the bad people's side or the good people's side.
Yeah.
Just let's at the beginning let you pick a faction.
Yeah.
Not this fucking rigmarole of you having to find out and then winding up on a team you didn't want to be on.
Yeah, I mean, or like giving you the option, I guess. Like if something happens, because what I imagine Jenny experienced is like, if you build this whole experience, it's got to have a lot of shit that goes into it, and as a result, things go wrong. And so I imagine they like, maybe some of the transmitters were off, maybe like the data collection wasn't working, and so like a bunch of stuff got messed up, and random chance like really dicked her over, you know. Like, I imagine it's something like that, or that too many people wanted to be inside of like one track, and they're like, well, we can't have everybody do this, so now you're a smuggler or whatever the fuck. And so like I get that, like, having a bug in the system, it's hard to do this, and I understand that, like, but that's why you have a thing that's like, hey, I know this is immersion breaking, but like, you're currently not signed up for shit, and I want you to have a good time. Like, if like I'm gonna give you an alarm bell, basically. Like, if you are not doing what you want to be doing, and in the app you just say like, if you put in this code and like put yourself on a thing, it's a one-time thing, you can only do it once. Boom, now you're on that track, and that's it. Like, we're gonna hard code it and set it to where, like, that's what you do. But because like the cool part of like being able to go to it, like what's effectively a 2-day very expensive murder mystery dinner theater, is like, okay, I get to be part of it. Things are happening organically. Like, I'm like in this like cool themed area, and I get to like, you know, see all of like this like badass stuff. Yeah, that's awesome. Like, and you get to interact with people that are you know, that if you're an outgoing person, you get to interact with people and like feel like you're part of the story, and like you build a rapport, and you like no two experiences the same. Like, all of that is so cool, but when it doesn't work, you have spent like your year's worth of vacation money on all, and there's so little time that any amount of wasted time is just horrendous. It is horrific to have to do that.
Yeah, the thing, like I said, what an easy fix to this would be would have every time they did the Star Wars Experience Hotel, have like, they know how many rooms are there and they know how many people are checking in. Have it to where only a certain amount of people can go during each set path, and if they sign up, you know, they get to get it. Mm-hmm. And if they don't have a path they want to, they could maybe switch their day with someone that does want to do that path, or like the people who are signing up for it get to see how many people are in each path, and if you want to go on those days or other days. Mm-hmm. So that way you get to go on the path you want.
Yeah, and the thing is, they had a up front, like whenever you're going into the hotel, they have a video that's like, hey, by the way, like this is an immersive experience, so we're going to have like fake alarms, like all hands on deck, an alarm is happening. This is what they look like. If there's actually a fire, this is what it's going to look like. So they had some things up front to be like, hey, we don't want to break your immersion, but like, if there's a fire, you have to know what to look for, and this is what to look for. And that's great. Yeah. It's bad that apparently their solution, by the way, for having a fire break out in the building is you have to get into a closet in your hotel room and hope that like wait for help.
Hope the fire doesn't get you.
Yeah, hope you don't die because you can't leave.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's fucked up, dude.
Isn't that like against code? You have to have fire exits.
I don't know. They must have gotten some sort of approval for it, but literally they're like, yeah, you have to, like, in your room, there's a closet that you open that is fireproof that you sit in until the fire is done.
Oh no.
What?
You just have to pray that death doesn't find you.
Yeah.
You have just sit there and close your eyes and just await death if it comes. And if it doesn't, then you're one of the lucky ones.
Yeah, hey, don't worry about it. Like, you're probably gonna be fine. Not a big deal, all right?
Here's the thing. I wish we were like bigger and had more audience, because if we were monetized, I would say, you know what, Colby, we have enough money from like Patreon this month. Let's go do this just for funds, and then just podcast our findings. Mm-hmm. Because like I really want to do this because I know that Star Wars Hotel is already gonna get closed down.
Oh no, Fee, it's gone.
Oh, that is right. It's closed. I have it. I didn't follow up on it, but I knew it was closing.
It wasn't even open 2 years.
Yeah, I know that.
It was. It closed after 18 months, and that's fucking horrific. They spent.
No, that's a waste of money.
I think the quoted total is they spent $500 million on this.
Oh.
Yeah, and it's not even like. You know, you can say like, oh, well, they can reuse the hotel, like they can, spruce it up and make it something different. But it's in the middle of like the back lots behind Star Wars Land. So it's not ready for like regular people to be there.
It's in the Disney back rooms.
Yeah, it is. Like, a lot of the themed hotels around Disney World, it's like, oh yeah, you drive through the forest, and then like there's a bunch of hotel or parking lots and stuff. But then once you're in there, it's like, okay, you have buses, you have shuttles, or you've got the monorail or whatever the fuck.
Well, if you want to find out that, one of my favorite YouTubers just put out a video. His name is Ryan Trahan, and he spent a whole week staying every one day at every hotel at Disney World or
Nice.
Disneyland, and he told you how much he rated it, what he thought was the worth versus like how nice it was to be there, and which one he liked. So I think he liked the Animal Kingdom the most.
Animal Kingdom is an interesting one because you can look at animals while you stay there, depending on where you stay.
Yeah, he said the hotel room was also like really nice.
Yeah, that's one of the newer ones. That makes sense.
Yeah. I'd say check that out because that's such a good. It's like 30 minutes or so.
Yeah, I just looked at it. It's 41 minutes, and I actually got recommended this video a couple of days ago. I just didn't watch it, so I think I will.
I got recommended it now, and I was like, I've heard of this guy. And then I did that thing, went down the rabbit hole, watched all of his videos.
Yeah, here I go.
He's actually really good. He does like one of the things that like we do is talk about, except he actually goes and does it.
Yeah.
He's from Texas. He's from fucking Austin.
Oh, nice.
But what's it called? He looks at bad fucking food reviews and then goes to the restaurant and tries it.
Hell yeah.
Good. So
yeah, I'm only halfway into this 4-hour video. But God, she has had the worst luck, and she like.
It sounds like a bad time overall.
Yeah, not only that, but like
waste of money.
She had them Disney has this thing where if you buy something at Disney and you're like, oh fuck, I can't take this on an airplane, they're like, great, you could just ship it to yourself. Like we have shipping places all over.
Yeah.
She bought a droid there and it got lost in the mail. And she was like, hey, yeah, this thing got lost in the mail. I have a picture of the address that I wrote down. Y'all must have sent it to the wrong address or whatever. Can you send me another one or give me a refund? And they were like, no. She was like, what the fuck? And so she complained on Twitter, and she's got like millions of followers. And then within a day, they were like, "Oh, so sorry. We'll overnight you a new one and a bunch of goodies. Oh, we're so sorry." And she's like, what is a regular person supposed to fucking do? This is stupid."
Yeah. What if this happened to someone that didn't have 1 million followers?
Yeah.
Then again, I feel like even if someone complained on Twitter and didn't have 1 million followers, it could pick up traction.
Mm-hmm.
So is that what they want? They want people to go and complain on Twitter for everyone to see?
Yeah, and like these are people that are like trying to call in and be like, "Hey, you fucked up this thing and you ruined my life."
Why not just ship them another one? What's so like you're not losing money, you have millions.
Oh man, here's like, another one that's bad. She like whenever she booked it, they upsold her on something called Memory Maker, which is like, yeah, we're gonna have photographers all over the ship that are gonna like take pictures of people and like get candid shots and stuff. And she was like, well, I'm gonna be recording a video the whole time, so I'm probably not gonna take any pictures. I'll just make sure that like they can take pictures of me. Closer to their stay, they announced a new thing where they were like, hey, you could also, instead of paying us like, $100 for Memory Maker, you could pay us $300 and you can get personalized photo shoots. And
what?
And so the theory is that a lot of like they hired the same amount of photographers, but now all of the photographers were on these personalized photo shoots. And so she was like, yeah, so I did the whole 2-day stay. I got 0 pictures. Despite the fact that I paid $100. I was like, what the fuck?
What? Why did she complain? Oh, I'd call my mom up and have her fucking bitch them.
Yeah, that's what she said. She said she did complain, and they were like, yeah, we can't do anything about it. And then she complained about it on Twitter, and they're like, oh, we're so sorry.
Just give me $100 back. You didn't do the one thing I paid for.
Yeah. They're like, I can't. We're already losing a lot of money on this. We can't give you $100 back. Bitch!
I paid for candid shots. You said, oh, well, and didn't give me anything. Ooh.
Oh!
I'd fucking go over there and knock the damn building over. I'd be so angry. You know how much $100 is to me?
Yeah.
Like $1,000.
Yeah, dude, like, and there's so many people that I guarantee you are such big, fans of Star Wars that they're like, this is going to be the one thing that I do. Like,
yeah,
I'm
this
going
is the one thing I do all year.
Yeah, exactly. I've been looking forward to it. This is all I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna I'm for the next 3 years. This is my whole vacation budget for these 2 days, and that's fine because I want to be in Star Wars. And then they leave with like an experience like Jenny has, and she's like, wow, am I fucking pissed off?
Dude, you know how? Okay, so $4,500 is a lot of money, and that's someone's whole vacation for the year.
Yeah, dude.
You know how much it took me to raise $200, and I had to get help from like my mom and sister because they gave me like $300 on my birthday. It took me 3 months.
Yeah.
So if let's say that it was still open and I was like such a big fan, I want to go. This is so fun. This is great. I'd have to save this whole year just for me to go next year and get this shit experience, and then won't even get my money back. Have the possibility of losing anything I wanted to buy, and then something that possibly will or won't get fucking like happen for candid shots.
Yeah.
Like what is this experience besides fucking you giving them the money and them saying, well, you already paid for it, sucker? Like, This is the worst thing they could have done. This is the shittiest thing, and they weren't ready. They weren't prepared.
Yeah,
they're just, man. Not everyone has that kind of money for like this experience, and you can't even leave.
Yeah, you can't even leave. It's so fucked up, and like the thing, like you're saying, it was only open 18 months. The people that had to save up to be like, okay, I'm going to have to save up for a few years to be able to afford this. They didn't even get to go. Like, they're like, oh shit, you mean I've got to save like $5,000 to get like the worst room and the basest of base things? Yeah, okay, I'm going to do it. And they get 18 months in. They're like, great. I've got like $2,000 saved up so far. I'm not going to get there soon, but I'm going to get there. And then they're like, oh no, the hotel's going to shut down. Don't worry about it. What? Excuse me. What?
Yeah. I'd be very angry. But like after it comes out and everyone say, oh shit, like I'd be a little relieved, but then I'd be like, but I want to experience the shit.
Yeah.
Right? Like I want to experience how bad it was. But then like, if that's the case, just take the money you've saved up and just go to fucking Disney World to the Star Wars experience or Disneyland.
Mm-hmm.
With the $2,000, that's more than enough for a hotel stay on the property and to go for a day because it's like $60 for a ticket. And they can use that extra money to buy some souvenirs.
Yeah, man, it's
more profitable just to do that than to go have this. Fucking basically be put in jail for 2 days.
Yes.
A themed jail.
A themed jail. A themed jail that in the best of best case scenarios, you're like, wow, like they really pulled off something special. That was crazy. That was like a cool 2-day thing. I don't think I could ever do it again because, like, God, it's so expensive. But like,
I never want to do it again.
Yeah, I don't know that I want to go do it again. Like, yeah, oh God, I when you hear them talk about it, they're like, yeah, you can pick your own storylines. Like there's even a romance plot that you can get in on. There's like, you can, we've got like a singer, we've got, all these like different characters you could talk to, and you could do any, like you're a part of your own story. You've got your own whatever. And like to like,
it sounds great on paper.
Mm-hmm.
But it sounds great on paper, and they should have done like some kind of rehearsal for this, so that way the people in charge could be like, "Oh, this is not gonna work." And I know they did that with the people when they put it up first. They let the families of the people working on it go in there.
Mm-hmm.
That should have been the fucking indicator, unless they put out all the best shit that day and never did it again.
Yeah. Well, apparently what they did is for a bunch of influencers, they were like, yeah, you guys can come in and like for 1 day. And then what they did is they were like, well, so we're going to have to give you an abridged version because you're not going to be here for 2 days. So, we're just going to,
we're going to bite the bullet on this.
Yeah, okay. So now let's say that you've done this so far. You're on the Resistance plot and you're doing this thing. Okay, now this is the experience you're going to get. Okay, now let's rewind time 8 hours. And you don't know that you're going to do Resistance, and maybe you actually want to do your First Order. And this is what that would kind of look like. And so those people get like a preview of it.
Yeah.
And they're like, wow, this is fucking incredible. And the thing that Jenny brought up is she's like, that's almost as if you were chosen by, like, you're a food critic and you were brought into a restaurant and the chef comes out and it's like, okay, now I want you to imagine you've just had this amazing 5-star dinner, like 7-course dinner where like you were almost stuffed to the gills, some of the most incredible food you've ever had. And then I serve you this dessert. And then the people come out and they go, wow, so I had maybe the best 7-course meal my entire life. And then they followed it up with this delicious dessert. Like, fuck, damn. Dude.
That's so fucking horrid. I'm almost glad that it's closed, but I'm also sad because all they had to do was be like, okay, that was like a beta run. We're going to take your feedback and build it up to something like better its potential.
Yeah.
That's all they had to do.
The thing is, they would have to do one of 2 things. And I don't think they have the courage to do either. One of them is they would have to make it like less of an immersive cruise ship, and they would have to be like, this is now just a Star Wars hotel. It's got bigger rooms, you can do whatever, you can leave, but like if you want to stay here and do activities, we've also got those. There's fewer of them. There's like a couple, you can interact with some characters. We have some people that are in character maybe, but it's a lot cheaper. Instead of paying like $6,000, you'll pay, I don't know,
like
$300 per person per night. Pretty expensive, but not outlandishly expensive.
That's not that. That's reasonable, honestly.
Yeah.
That's because the other hotels are like 150 to 300. That falls in line with the hotels, and you get a cool themed Star Wars hotel. A fucking IP that's so huge that it'll be fucking booked for like a year.
Yeah, for sure. You either have to do that, or you have to double down, and you have to be like, okay, this Star Wars hotel, this like fake cruise ship that we made, we're gonna go as hard as humanly possible. So now, they're only at maximum at any given time, only 500 people can stay here at any given time, and you have to stay here for 3 full days. You can go to Star Wars Land twice. That's it. The rest of the stuff is inside of this building. And we have characters, we have concierge people that like know who you are and are monitoring your stats at all times. We have like rip cords to pull yourself out of situations. We have our own theme park ride. Yeah, that's right. You can only ride this ride if you stay at this hotel. We have Han Solo. Harrison Ford himself comes here once a month. So if you want to book for that, it's $10,000. Every person that stays here has to pay a bare minimum of $6,000 per person. Like, that's how hard they would have to go to make this a financial success and be like the coolest shit. Like, it's one of those things where you're like, wow, if I could get into the first class seat on this airplane of like a plane that goes to Dubai, I have to pay $15,000, but it's the most luxurious shit I've ever done. You see people on YouTube that'll be like, oh, nah, man, like I did the Star Wars hotel, and listen, it may have been, as much as a new Toyota RAV4, but like, kind of fucking dope though.
Dude, I would never. I feel like that would never be viable. Like $6,000 for 3 nights?
Yeah, dude.
No, dude, no, hell no. Like I can't even imagine. Like I can't even put that up against anything because nothing does that. Like unless you're like going to another fucking continent vacation for like a week. I can go to Japan for like $6,000 and go anywhere I want and have more fun. Like. It's just not viable.
Yeah, I mean, what I think is that they priced themselves out of normal people, right? It's like
it's a luxury experience.
It's just people. It's like upper middle class people or middle class people that are very like that have the ability to either pull together enough money or go into debt, are going to this thing. But
yeah, but like. It doesn't change. It's just the same thing.
It's the same thing.
Who would go there more than once?
Exactly. I don't know why you would go more than once. And if the game doesn't work for anyone, you get so much shit for that. Like, if a ride breaks, people are like, the ride broke and I had to sit there for an hour. Not great, but you're also not losing $6 a minute. Like... It's an inconvenience, but it doesn't ruin your fucking day. But if you are trying to like interact with this hotel and it's busted for you, it's like, oh well, that's I don't need to ever do this again. Like, yeah,
a regular fucking themed hotel would make so much more money and make people want to go more than this dumbass experience.
Yeah, that's why I say like. Either they've got to target it at like the top, not like the top 1%. Like this has to be a 1% thing. Disney made a hotel for the 1% and you can't go. That's the YouTube title, right? Like and you see that and you're like, fuck, I don't know, maybe I save up for a while, maybe I go, like that sounds kind of sick, and maybe they're operating in enough money that it's okay, right?
Yeah.
But if you can't do that, you can't have it be so fucking expensive that like people can't go that often, and that it's not replayable. Sure, maybe it's like, oh, well, we have different storylines and it's like a once per year thing. Like every year it's one story. And so you're like, oh, I'm going to stay in the Star Wars hotel this year to experience what the new story is. But
gotta buy my Star Wars hotel battle pass.
yeah,
Every fucking year for the new content.
yeah, that's exactly what it is too. It's like, apparently, later on they made it to where you could book like on a calendar, but what you had to do was, especially early on, is you had to call a hotline and wait on the phone for a long time, and you had to know exactly how many people were going and exactly what dates you were looking at, and
It's a magic phrase,
and then you had to like book right then on the phone. And so like, and apparently early on they also didn't like sell you on add-ons very well, so they didn't tell you that you could buy a seat at the captain's table, which got you like a better view and maybe food, maybe you interacted with the captain more, and so like things like that where you're like, maybe I would pay, like if you're already paying $6,000 for this thing, they're like, hey, for an extra like, you know, $180 you can like eat at this special table and do this special thing. Well, what the fuck, like that's not even that's a drop in the ocean of the money I'm spending. Fuck it. Okay, sure. But yeah, like at no point was this thing going to be viable for people that don't have a lot of money, and for the people that do have a lot of money, and like they can spend enough money to do this, they're fine, but there's not enough of them. So you're in this weird middle ground of people that like, they're like, all right, I'm going to spend the money, but fuck, man, this better be good. And so your expectations are so high. And if any one thing breaks, it's like, fuck this. I'm never coming again. Like, everybody save your money. Don't come.
But that, like, the super luxury that they fucking built up, even just what they put out, it was like so bad word of mouth. It like ruined them. Like, why would you spend that much to get subpar fucking service?
Yeah.
And then they're just like, well, wait, we're gonna make it like better and more expensive, and now you got the full experience. Well, what about the people who got the shit experience?
Yeah, dude. And like there's reports of people that like, you know, they sit at the tables where like the pillar is blocking, or you know, they're not interacting with the crew, and they're not able to like do the things that they want to do.
Like goddamn money back.
Yeah, the food is not good, and Disney is just like, I mean, you paid for it and you went, so I'm not going to give you your money back. Apparently, it's like a very common thing where you're like, hey, I want my money back, not only for like the hotel stay, because I'm sure some people do that, but like for things that I purchased that you did not give me, and they're like, nah.
Dude, and then like, okay, so you're on a path, say someone else is on a path and like you're going to, but the other like party gets there and they interact with the person, and then you overhear them. And then they go and do the thing, and then you're just like, oh, I'm here for the same thing. I already heard everything. So.
Yeah. That apparently was one of the things that happened to Jenny, is she was like desperately trying to get in on a story. And there's some people that like typed in a passcode and went into a room, and she was like, oh, I'm just going to fucking go in here with you. And she's like, how did you get this? And they're like, oh, go over to this computer. And then like we typed in these things, and she did that. Nothing happened. She's like, what the fuck? Why can't I get into anything? And it's like, that's a core issue, dude.
Yeah, it's just, this is all, they should have just made a hotel, because they should have, and this is so, but they could have made the hotel. They could have had like themed shuttle buses, like the themed rooms, dark side rooms, light side rooms.
Mm-hmm.
They could have had like rebel rooms, first order rooms, and they could have had the souvenir shop. They could have had the themed breakfasts. They could have had the characters walking around during breakfast.
Yeah.
They could have had shows there. They could have had the story, but it's optional.
Mm-hmm.
And some people might do it, like if they're all day at the park and then they come back to the hotel and they're just like, well, I want to see what this is about.
Yeah.
They would have made so much more money. But then they went all in on this fucking this thing that I feel like someone said in passing to one of the people, and they just did it.
Yeah. Or like one of the Imagineers had this idea and was so good at pitching it. They're like, yeah, you're right. We're going to make money hand over fucking fist with this. Yes.
Yeah, I think the worst part is like it's just it fell through. They halfway through they should have just been like, what if we just make this a hotel, because it doesn't sound fun now that I'm hearing it or seeing it.
Well, like I imagine that it sounds fun, but like at no point, I'm imagining at some point a bunch of people were like, hey, is this going to be able to like make money back? And like, do we have plans for like when this doesn't go well? And my best guess is that they were already halfway in and they were like, we can't stop now. We just got to go all the way. Just fucking go, like, dude.
Well, no, but I mean, it's already up.
Yeah. So. Like we got most of it done. Don't worry about it. It's fine. We'll figure it out.
Oh man, I hate that. That makes me mad. But like, it doesn't ruin like Disney World on its own, because I could still go there. Yeah. It's just it makes me mad because what could have been, right?
Yeah.
It could have been another themed hotel.
Mm-hmm.
And Disney adults would have gone crazy for it. Star Wars adults would have gone crazy for it.
Yeah, for sure.
But now we just have this Willy Wonka experience that's just sitting there, right?
Yeah. It's just
reminding you of like this dark fucking half a year.
Yeah, you're like, oh man, well, what could have been?
just sitting there reminding you that they tried something, it was awful, and then they shut it down. They didn't do anything with it.
Yeah, fuck it, no more.
Fuck that. Oh boy.
Listen, we're toward the end of our episode. We wanted to let everyone know. In the stream title, it does say special announcement.
Oh yeah.
So, next episode, what we're gonna try something fun. I had this idea and Fee very much agreed with it. We are going to try to make a new anime or manga. Each of us, like, we are both going to come up with an original story, and a rough plot outline of whatever we want to make, and then we're going to pitch it to each other and to our audience. So next week, be on the lookout for that, because there's going to be an experiment. If y'all like it and you think it's fun, maybe we turn it into a monthly podcast. Who the fuck knows? Be its own podcast aside from Go Gettas, in which we're just pitching anime, baby.
I have so many ideas that when Colby told me, it just came to me like fucking what's it called? That one GIF where it's Hangover and he's seen all the sounds. He's like, what if we did this? And I was like, oh man, I have all these ideas.
Oh, I'm seeing the truth of the universe.
I like immediately I started like drawing characters and I was like, oh, this, yeah, fuck yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I really want to show one of my characters, but I guess I can wait till next time.
Man, yeah. Listen, we'll talk about both of our shows next week. So next week's episode is going to be that. So keep an eye out for that. And give us some feedback. And let us know how you feel, because we're we're fucking pumped.
We're fucking
cranking out some good shit. So you can listen to that episode live here on Twitch. If you follow us at twitch.tv/GoGetUsPod, you can get a notification whenever we go live, and we go live anytime between 0 and 2 times a week. If you want to listen to just the audio version of this, the audio version will come out every Wednesday at 3 a.m. Pacific time, so you can listen to it on your way to work. But if you want to catch the video version of it, which we may be showing some pictures next week for our next episode. So if you want to catch the video, please go check out our YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/@GoGetUsPodcast. That's where you can also find our shorts. We have shorts that come out every week that kick ass. Same with they also come out on our TikTok and our Instagram. So please give those a look. And I love you.
Oh wow. coming on strong.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I love y'all too, but like platonically, you gotta say that.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I just watched the show on Hulu, or part of it. I want to watch the whole thing called Baby Reindeer.
Oh, I
And
heard about that. Yeah.
there's this comedian. He has a stalker, is ruining his life, and I don't want that.
Mm-hmm.
So just platonically, I love you.
Yeah, fair enough.
Here's the thing. Leave comments on all that so that way we can get your feedback. Also, if you listen to audio only, there's a thing that Budsprout has now called fan mail. So if you go to the page on the audio only, like Spotify or anything, it'll say to text. It says a text message where it's basically a comment section, and it'll send the comments to Budsprout. We could see it there.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're only an audio listener, and I know there's audio listeners, I always get notifications and you don't want to make the jump to YouTube, leave comments on the audio only so that way we can get feedback.
Yeah.
But here's what I want you to do.
All right. Come on. Come on.
I want you to get one of like your favorite IPs. I want you to like buy an acre of land and build this giant experience and open it to the public. And it's an AR role play. It could be anything you want.
Mm-hmm.
And hire people, get people to come, and then when it goes bad and people start calling you a scam artist,
Mm-hmm.
I want you to grab all your stuff and I want you to leave the country. And people are gonna have to go get you.
Go be got.
Go
get got, idiot.
Go get got, dumbass.
Yeah. How dare you have dreams and not able to execute on them?
Listen, this was catered to the people who thought of the Star Wars experience.
Yeah.
And be ashamed of yourself. I mean, I'm happy you came up with this idea, but man, bad execution.
Yeah, man.
Go fucking sit on a cactus.
Jeez. I'm gonna call them up and tell them you said that.
Call them up right now. Tell them I'll provide the cactus. Pull your pants down. Wait, no.
Whoa, JK. No. I'm weak.
Very unweak. Later. Bye.
Bye.
Bleh. Bleh.